Welcome to another edition of The Chosen Scoop. I'm Jim Luff, and joining me today is Chip Fadeley, the owner of Freebridge Auto Sales and F&S Financial Marketing. We'll be learning about both of Chip's businesses today. Welcome to The Chosen Scoop, Chip.
Hey, how you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing great. I've always wanted to know more about car salespeople and people that get into the car business. So tell me, like, how long you've been in the car business and how you got into it, and anything else you care to share about it.
I'll just give you a quick summary of my life, so to speak. When I got out of high school at 18, I went to work for a small loan company, and over a 9-month period, I got promoted to assistant manager. 6 months later, I was a branch manager. Just after that scenario, when I turned 21, I went to work in the automobile business. I went to work for Lustine Chevrolet in Hyattsville, Maryland, which is a new car franchise. Used car department was selling about 100 cars a month. I went to work there. So basically, over the last 50 years, like 48 years, I've been working in the car business as a business manager. I did
Chip,
that.
by the way you look, it looks like maybe you got into that business when you're about 8 years old.
No, I'm 69 right now. I got in when I was 21. Um,
Wow.
but I was a
Your whole
business manager
life, your whole working life.
pretty much my whole life. So I worked hard at that scenario and worked at it for years and got a very good reputation for being able to get people approved and getting people that were really hard to get approved that somebody else couldn't do. But I couldn't get everybody approved. So years went by, and come 1992 is when I founded Freebridge Auto Sales. And I did that because I wanted to be able to get more people approved than I was getting before. And the only way I figured to do that is start my own business and create my own finance company to where I'm the guy that's approving the deals. And that's where F&S came in. When I started my dealership at Freebridge Auto in 92, I created F&S Financial Marketing as the finance arm, basically kind of like General Motors Acceptance Corporation for
Right.
GM's cars. Anyway, that got me into the business, and it's and I'm running blank on you. I was going great the other day.
That's all right. So let me ask you, when so I saw the term financial marketing, and I will say, you have a unique distinction as a merchant that has two separate merchant accounts with us. So I saw the name F&S Financial Marketing. What does the marketing part of that entail?
It's just basically a name. It was a name I gave my finance company. It was technically it was one of my partner's initials and my initials. It was Fadeley and Stein, but Stein only stuck with me for about the first year and a half of my business, and it really wasn't working out. I was the guy who was in charge anyway. But I kept the name, and it's just been the name ever since. So it finances all the cars that we sell. We sell about 40 cars a month. We don't do a whole lot of the payment processing through the dealership. We do a substantial amount of it through the finance company for people making payments, because I set the finance company up to finance cars, and basically it's when your car payments due, that is when you get paid. So every time you get paid, you owe a car payment. So if someone gets paid weekly, they're paying me every week. They're paying me a smaller amount, not $250 a week, but if it's a $200 or $400 payment a month, they're paying me $100 a week, to give you an example, or $50 a week if it's $200.
And
That's
and
how.
these payments, are they able to make payments by credit card, like
Yes,
through a portal?
yes. So
Yeah.
we use your portal to do payments that come in. The large majority of them are ATM ATM
Debit
cards,
cards.
debit
Okay.
cards, um, and that's roughly almost $300,000 a month. Um, as far as the finance, I mean, as far as the dealership goes, we only bringing in maybe, I don't know, $10,000-15,000 a month in credit cards. We don't normally take them for down payments. We only use them for service. Um, and a lot of the service is warranty, because everything I sell comes with at least a 30-day 1,000-mile warranty. Some cars up to 12 months, 12,000 miles. And I back that warranty myself. Um,
That leads me to the next question. So, your financial arm, does it finance only for your dealership, or if we have somebody watching right now who maybe has questionable credit, or they're trying to get their young student into a car loan, do you accept loans or issue loans for other dealerships?
We thought about doing that, but it's not a good fit for our operation. And the reason I say that is it's harder to review the loans that you want to accept and whether you want to accept them. It's very easy for someone to not give you all the information you need, which turns it into a bad loan. So no, the only loans that are being financed are the ones through FNS or Freebridge Auto Sales.
All right. Well, I just thought I'd see if there was an opportunity for us to send some more business to you.
Well,
But good
they
to
can
know.
come to Freebridge Auto and they'll definitely get financed. Our motto and our slogan, we've got a national registered trademark of everybody rides.
Oh, awesome. And where are you located?
We're located at 1400 Richmond Road in Charlottesville, Virginia.
All right. So if you happen to be in the Virginia area and you're looking for a car, this is a great place to go, obviously. And so in your finance arm, what does a typical customer look like? I assume if they're not able to finance through, traditional car lender, are they really bad credit, or who will you take?
Well, it's really interesting. We've been in business for 30, well, it'll be 30 years in this October. And the people that we've had has been a large range. When we first started out, we had a very large or very high interest rate. And it was the same interest rate for everybody. But I kept getting repeat customers. So I wanted to help them out. So I started making tiers to where there was less and less interest for repeat customers. Um, Lost my train of thought again. But
That's all right. Wanted to ask you about that interest rate. Like, what is the highest interest rate and the lowest interest rate?
well, the highest interest rate when we first started was 39.9. It's now 34.9. It's pretty
Wow.
substantial. But my lowest rate is 14.9. And that's for people who have been repeat customers. Every time they come back, they get a better rate and get a better rate. And the better they pay me, the better I take care of them. So you want me to take care of you, you take care of me. And every time you come back, you get a better deal and you get a better interest rate.
That's fantastic. I have to share a side note for myself that I have four kids, and every single one of them asked me to co-sign for a car loan for them when they first became young adults. And they all went through financing through a company like similar to FNS Financial Marketing. And I am really proud to share that all four of my kids paid their car notes off 3 to 4 months before they were set to be paid off. So I think that helps young people build credit. And then obviously a company like yours is recognizing their efforts to make early payments and probably the second time around giving them a better interest rate.
Yeah, and there's something else we do too. We also report all our credit accounts to the credit bureau so that anybody that has had bad credit, their credit's starting to improve. We've had customers that have bought cars from us and then gone somewhere else to get their cars financed. But then they end up coming back because it's kind of an interesting scenario. One of the big features about our operation is a lot of customers, if they're not paying when they get a paycheck, they will stumble. And when they stumble, it's harder to get them current. Now, if you're paying a payment that's once a month, so now you're paying like $400 at one time instead of maybe $100 a week. If you miss one payment, you're $400 past due. You're not just $100 past due. So it makes it
Right.
harder. So we end up getting some of those customers back, not all of them. A lot of them stay out there because they've established their credit and keep it good. But we keep offering lower and lower rates because we want good established people to keep coming back to us. And that's why we have
Sure.
I've got probably 60 to 70%, maybe 65 to 70, maybe 65% repeat and referral business. That's pretty stout when you consider the kind of business I'm in.
Sure.
Most dealerships can't brag to have that kind of a return, repeat and referral.
Along the lines of missed payments, how did the pandemic affect your finance company and people? Did you have a lot of payment defaults? Did you have a higher delinquency? How did that play out?
Well, that's kind of interesting because a lot of my customers got stimulus checks, which they were smart enough to use to keep their car. Because if you don't, the fastest way to get on your feet is miss your car payment. So,
Right.
so my delinquency actually got better during the pandemic. My sales slowed down, not
Sure.
substantially, but they slowed down. But my delinquency actually went down too because of the amount of money that was flooded into the economy. And unfortunately, there's bad side effect to that, and that's called inflation. And that's what we're suffering from right now because of all the stimulus money that's
Correct.
pushed out there.
Yeah, and we in our industry, in the credit card processing industry, we saw it was very interesting that we had some industries did extremely well. Some industries that we serve were just decimated. Number one that comes to mind is the limousine industry. There was nobody traveling for luxury transportation. There were no weddings and people riding around in limos. And the limousine industry really, really took a hard hit with corporate travel suspended and everything done by Zoom. Um, but on the flip side of that, the two industries that we saw that really took an increase that we serve, one was the funeral industry, which is really a sad testament to what COVID did. And the other industry that saw a significant jump was our independent booksellers. A lot of people started reading books during the pandemic while they were on the lockdown. So it's kind of interesting how the pandemic affected different industries. But I was certain that it would have affected yours, both on the car side and the finance side. But it's good to hear that your delinquency rate actually went down. And you used a comment a few minutes ago that I thought was pretty funny. No faster way to get on foot. And I mean, quite literally, when your car is repossessed, you are on foot. So
Correct.
glad that it didn't affect you negatively. I also wanted to ask you about the name, the Freebridge name. Why Freebridge?
When I first opened up it was about a half a mile from here. And in Charlottesville, there's a bridge that crosses over the Rivanna. And it goes from Albemarle County into the city of Charlottesville. And back in the day, back during Jefferson's time, it was the only free bridge into Charlottesville. And there was numerous bridges, but they were toll bridges except for that one. It was free bridge. And my original location was just on the other side of Free Bridge. So I'm right there at the intersection where the Free Bridge is, and hence Free Bridge Auto Sales.
Okay,
To bring
so
it
it's
into a location. People
right.
that
It's a
are from this
geographical
area
name.
know where Free Bridge is, or if they've been here for any length of time.
Well, and the reason I asked you that is I can tell you're passionate about getting anybody that wants to drive a car into a car. If there's a way to finance them, you're going to find a way to do it. And so I thought maybe the word free was kind of a play on that once you have a car, you're free. It's liberating. You can go where you want when you want. Um, anyway, so tell us how did we get connected with you to do your credit card processing?
Well, your rep, Jennifer, is a very persistent lady, and she's very knowledgeable. She's
Yes,
very good. I tried to recruit her as a sales rep,
nice.
but she finally broke me down to the point where I said, okay, fine, let's check this out and see if this works. Well, she ended up signing me up to a point where I was actually saving a substantial amount of fees on my charges on a monthly basis. Um, I'm not sure if you want me to tell you how much, but because of my volume at about 300,000 a month, I mean, it saved me probably $1,000 a month in fees.
Wow, that's fantastic. I have to note on that point that you have some specialized rates that were created by being a part of an association. What is that association?
The National Independent Automobile Dealers Association. I'm
Ah, perfect.
also a member of the Virginia Independent Automobile Dealers Association. And because of that affiliation, it's an automatic join to the National Independent Automobile Dealers Association. And it's an association that kind of brings all of our dealerships together and represents us and helps us stay in a nice even playing field. And if you're actually dealing with a dealership that's an NIADA member, you're dealing with someone with a little bit more reputation and responsibility to their customers than someone that's not.
Right. And I think on that note, for those of you watching, it is important to note that Chosen Payments does engage with partnerships such as NIADA and many other organizations, including the National Funeral Directors Association, the National Limousine Association, Jewelers of America. But when we are able to bring a group of members together, we're able to provide volume discounting that we wouldn't otherwise normally be able to do. And if you think about it like this, let's take a business like Target. Target has 10,000 stores in the United States. So obviously, they're going to get better credit card processing rates than somebody that has one or two stores. So being a part of an association like the National Independent Automobile Dealers Association allows members to get preferred rates. And Chip, I'm really glad to hear that you're saving $1,000 a month. And if you spread that out over a year, that's 12,000 more dollars that you're putting in your pocket as net profit than you were before. And
Actually,
I
it's 12,000 more dollars I can aim back toward my customers for things that do them good.
Well, that's actually a better way to look at it. And I would say that most business people would probably call that profit, stick it in their pocket, and go have a steak dinner with it. So to know that you're putting it back in your business and that your customers are benefiting from the savings that we provide, that really makes me feel good about working for the company that I'm working for.
Yeah, and there's
Um,
there's something else to that scenario too, and it comes down to how people want to do business. Um, I have warranties on my cars, but I also sell cars, and if we miss something when we've checked it over and a customer's bought a car and there's something that goes wrong with it, a lot of the times I will fix it if it's within the first couple of weeks. Doesn't mean I always do it, but a lot of times I do, to the point that I spend over $100,000 a year in what we call WEO policy adjustment, which is not warranty work. It's just repairs that I do for free of charge for my customers to take care of them. Not saying that I'm going to take care of everything that goes wrong with it, but it comes down to, if we miss something, it looks like something we should have caught when we were doing the check over, I'll take that bill and I'll eat it myself.
Man, I sure wish I lived in Virginia. I have 10 grandkids. One of them is of driving age already. Three or four are rapidly coming, and you sound like a guy that I'd like to buy a used car from. It's pretty honorable.
I appreciate that.
So, obviously, that's how you have been successful for your entire career. And I've certainly enjoyed talking to you today. Is there anything else that you'd like to share about your company or about your relationship with Chosen Payments, or maybe another plug for Jennifer Figueroa, our star sales girl that you tried to recruit?
Jennifer's great, people. If she calls you, you should listen to her, pay attention, because she will take care of you.
I love that. I couldn't have ended with a better testimonial. And by the way, we call her either J Fig or Figgy within our office. So the next time you talk to her, feel free to use that.
I'll
She'll
do that.
enjoy that. Folks, we've been talking with Chip Fadeley with Freebridge Auto Sales and F&S Financial Marketing. Chip, thank you so much for your time and being on the Chosen Scoop today. And I wish you much continued success in your future.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, everybody. And I hope to see you back here again on another episode of The Chosen Scoop.